the Dap It Up podcast. It's D along with the Naho Bino.
Number one Android user in the country, G.
And this is my favorite podcast on the internet because today we'll cover some of the latest, greatest news in gaming, like the recent Nintendo Direct. But first, Gunnm, what's up with you?
Oh, not much. Just work. As you see on the channel, we've been pretty busy putting out a lot of videos. I hope to keep that kind of going, So we appreciate the support that you guys have been showing so far. Appreciate it.
Definitely. You've been working overtime, man.
Yeah. I'm in trying to make this work. But as far as me, I've just been playing games, playing a lot, working a lot. Overwatch. Ooh, that rhymed. But
you don't say.
I mean,
So, okay, let me stop you right here. I know we're going to talk about our games some more later, but Overwatch, I just don't understand you in Overwatch, man. It's like, do you like it or do you hate it?
I do like it. It's my competitive game of choice. I guess I've tried, but I guess I really can't get fighting games to kind of share that spot. It can only be one competitive game I can play at once. Starting to realize.
Fair.
But yeah, like Overwatch a lot. Pretty fun. Balance is all over the place, but new season just started, so still trying to feel it out. I don't even know what they changed really. I haven't even looked at the patch notes, but new map, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. Power Rangers theme. And they even got a Transformers collab coming, so that might be cool. We'll see if they can possibly make me spend some money. But we'll see about that. I mean, I did for the Cowboy Bebop one. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I'm not.
So that's all life has to offer right now is Overwatch, huh?
Well, that and SMT, but we will get to that later.
Games. Yeah, we will. I'm not really, I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. I guess what's new, I'm working on a fitness program to maybe do some outdoor group sessions. Because me and a friend of ours, a mutual friend, is working on opening up a gym. And it'll be a while. We made a little bit of headway, but in the meantime, we want to kind of gauge public interest and hold some events within the community, get people moving. Ideally, when it cools down a little bit, because this week, my God. Bro.
Yeah, this heat wave's been ridiculous. I mean,
it's not just the heat, it's the humidity with it, right?
Yeah.
Because Arkansas 100 is like, whatever, because it's dry heat at least.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, yeah, other than that, I mean, same old. My birthday's this weekend, so.
Hey.
Probably
what's in the chat for my boy? It's a birthday. What's in the chat?
Hey. Well, I wish I knew how to use the freaking soundboard. The little brr. We gotta start doing more of that. Cause we
there you go.
We be running this show like some old heads sometimes.
Yeah,
we need more sound effects, more glitz, But yeah, I don't feel no different. I'm turning 30, it's whatever.
Yeah, he turned into Big
mean,
3-0. How's it feel to join the club?
the same. Like I'm healthy and fit, so the way I feel right now, I've probably felt this way the past 6, 7 years. So I'm not really, I'm not having that overwhelming sense of mortality yet. You know, I think I already had that when I turned 8 years old. You know, every every kid has that one birthday where they like, wait, I'm gonna die. So I got that out the way.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It was either 8. This is gonna sound crazy. It was either 8 or 11. It was one of those. I don't know. That's a big gap, but one of them birthdays, I was like, what? And I just had to accept my fate, man. But see, before you know it, you're gonna be turning 70. I'm gonna be turning 31.
Okay.
You know, that's just how time works. All right. You trying to see what's out this week?
Sure.
Make sure we ain't missed nothing.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Why not?
So this time, I don't have a fake one, but my plan is next week we're gonna resume that because I feel like we have to revamp our whole bonus round system. Like I like it. It was working. I just want to start over, you know, like a reboot. And we have to hold ourselves to the punishments this time. Punishments. Requests this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this week we ain't gonna worry about it.
I think Jordan had one forever ago and nobody did it. I can't even remember what it was.
I did play it.
I did play it too.
Undertale.
I played it too.
Yeah, I got like 2/3 of the way through it.
I got halfway through
it. But June 18th, we've got #blood, like BLUD. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, and Still Wakes the Deep. June 19th, we've got Echo Generation Midnight Edition. June 20th, Dice Folk, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. They still going. And June 21st, we've got Dystopica and Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Anything stand out to you?
Well, I'm sure to everybody, Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Mm-hmm.
The big one.
You ain't gonna play it?
I'm not. I am not in the Souls combat. I have come to learn. Don't get me wrong.
What's this Metal Slug game, man?
It's like a tower defense kind of thing. Like it's in the direct.
Okay. Because I like Metal Slug.
But
Metal Slug was...
It's not like traditional Metal Slug, though.
Okay. I didn't think so. That was my Chuck E. Cheese's game of choice, bro.
Yeah.
Every time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, I was like, Metal Slug. It was Metal Slug and that little dinosaur running game where you hit the buttons to make them run.
Yeah. At least at Chuck E. Cheese's anyway. Mine was always that Star Wars game.
Oh, yeah. You know, the first time I ever got bullied was when I was playing that game. I was like 12 or something. And they did it on the slide, which was some whole stuff, of course. But I was just sitting in the seat, you know, messing with the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude was like, oh, he a nerd too. Like, I distinctly remember it just being like, all right.
Okay.
Like, imagine walking the floor in Chuck E. Cheese's and taking it upon yourself to make fun of somebody. But then again, the Chuck E. Cheese's near us was always kind of ratchet.
Yes, it was. It was.
Rip in peace.
I know.
Okay, dude. It looks like most of what we got today is just Nintendo Direct. So last week it was kind of a rush to try to squeeze everything in. This week we're just gonna go entry by entry. We ain't got nothing but time. So I'm gonna let you take the reins, starting with the first announcement.
All right. Well, they started off pretty strong. And they started off with Mario and Luigi Brothership. Now, I don't know about you, but I think the name's whack. But Mario and Luigi, like that series? Oh man, that's one of my favorites from Nintendo. One of my favorites.
What would you have called it?
Anything but that.
Anything but Brothership.
Kinship? I don't know. Something.
If it's about aliens, I'll take it. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like,
at first I wasn't.
The what?
At first, when I saw it, I wasn't sure what I was looking at. But then I saw the combat. I was like, oh,
bro. Mario RPG combat in general. I'll say Paper Mario 2, Thousand Year Door, and Superstar Saga on.
mm-hmm.
Like, it's always been clean. Because some would say like Mario RPG and the first Paper Mario were bare bones. But I agree. It was very flashy. Harkened back to Superstar Saga, which is always a plus, because
Yes.
I still have a guide to that game too. I don't remember if it was the Prima, however you say it, strategy guide or what, but
I might have to.
I held on to that.
I might have to play through that on NSO. Like,
oh, it is on NSO. Ain't it?
Yeah. I might have to play through that because man,
Do
that's
it.
That's one of my all-time favorite GBA games.
Dude, because when they first released it on Switch Online, I booted that up. I sat down. I played it for like 30 minutes and I stopped. I said, I can't do this. I can't do this to myself. I can't. Because, bro, I just remember the days of being a kid and you had an excuse to be on your Game Boy all the time because you always sat in the back seat. You took it to school with you. You took it to summer camp with you.
Which you did.
You know, and to be able, you didn't?
Of course not. You know how my parents were.
Yeah, that's right. Well, just sitting down and seeing that on my screen, I was like, I already got too many games to play. I cannot do this to myself. Because I try to make a lot of room for newer games now. Because we can replay some of that old stuff over and over and over. So, to that point, it's always nice when they do make an extension of something familiar. Which is, Brothership looks to me almost like... it's almost like what Superstar Saga looked like to me when it came out, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm ready for that, because that's this November, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah, November. Yeah, it has the date on here. November 7th. Yep.
It's the most we ever heard Mario and Luigi talk, too.
Mm-hmm. It's like Luigi.
70% of what they say is each other's names, but it's mad emotive.
Oh, no!
And
But
the Oscar goes to
Charles Martinet. But all right, so Next on the list, I've never heard of the original of this game. I'm not really that invested in it, but I could see people getting really into this. Nintendo World Championships, NES edition. So this is a interesting looking game because it's like it's kind of like a speed running game, kind of testing you how fast like you can beat these games. So like it's definitely I don't want to say a speedrunner's dream come true, but it's I guess you could say it's kind of like Nintendo kind of just acknowledging that community, at least to some extent, and knowing that, you know, there's some people that do like to play these games like a certain way.
Right.
Not only that, like there's like multiplayer, like, you know how there was that Mario 99 shit for Switch? I forget what it was called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have like something similar like in this game where you play against people in real time and try and get the fastest time. Like it looks interesting. It's interesting. Is it my cup of tea? Not really, because I'm not into speedrunning stuff like that. And
I'm fascinated by it, but
I'm not that into NES games like that. But it's definitely an interesting title. Never seen anything really like it. But it's out next month, 18th.
Next month.
Now, the next game. I don't know how much of a fairy tale fan you are. I mean, there was definitely a time when I was heavy into fairy tale. You've seen Rave Master. Same author. But
see, I never knew that, but that you just connected 2 dots in my brain that I didn't know were there. Because Rave Master, I was like, what? I forgot about Rave Master. And you bringing up Fairy Tale, that is so distinct in my brain. Because I saw somebody had made a comment on, there's some farm game that got announced.
Yeah, that it's in here too.
And somebody said, bro, this artist just reuses the same character designs over and over and over in every one of his projects. Wow, Rave Master, that's wild.
I wouldn't say that. I think it's just that his art style is just very distinctive. Kind of like One Piece's is very distinctive.
I can still tell the difference between. Way. Well,
but you can tell characters apart.
That's a good point. That's true.
Apart for the most part.
But usually, I guess it's not like Dragon Ball where if they didn't have like different colored hair, they'd be the same person sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like they got a lot better with that over time for sure. But Fairy Tale. You trying to play it?
But yeah, this game, Fairy Tale 2. No. But I did get the first game, surprisingly, because I thought it would be a nice little time waster back in the day. I think the first game came out. It was around the time I started getting into Trails. So it might have been like 2019 that first game came out.
So what is it? Like a shonen battle arena?
Oh no, it's like a RPG. Like a JRPG.
Oh.
But it seems like they changed up the battle system for this one a lot. But I mean, I played the first one for like 10 seconds and then hated it.
Yeah.
I was not into it. So, but I can tell you like immediately the battle system's different. It almost looks like it's a action JRPG now, but I don't know. I'm not invested. I kind of fell out of love with Fairy Tail for the most part. If you've read it, you can probably understand why, but I'm just not.
I have not, and I can't.
Yeah. So
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm just not that big on the series anymore. Maybe it's just because I've gotten older too.
You say this as somebody who reads and watches One Piece.
Well, One Piece has a good story.
Yeah, but don't use age. Come on, bro.
Okay, I just fell out of love with it.
Nah, because we disqualified from using age.
All right, so next game. This is another JRPG, a game that John from Spawnwave will just not stop talking about. At least it feels like Fantasia, which was like an Apple game for a while. Like it was like stuck on their platform for a minute, but now it's coming to actual consoles and I think PC, but I'm not sure. It might just be Switch. I didn't see the press release for this one, but
Fantasian.
Yeah, Fantasia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what is this? I've seen it before, but
it's a game made by a former Final Fantasy director. I'm not sure which one, but it's a game that has a lot of people's interest. Like the battle system seems pretty interesting. So it definitely harkens back to a little bit of that classic Final Fantasy. It seems like you do have random encounters in there, but you have control over how often they happen. It's weird. You just probably have to just play the game to find out like how it works, but it's interesting. It's an interesting looking title. Probably won't play it unless it's on PS5, but it's interesting. So next announcement. They have an update for Switch Sports, which I find very interesting couldn't came out. Couldn't care less.
It's smart though. I care simply because I play this type of stuff with family.
Mm-hmm.
There's a number of jokes we can make about what they chose to add, but I can leave those to the imagination.
All the games they chose to add. Not boxing.
Nope. Which I was like, bro, we were checking, just real quick aside. We were looking at what games it had, before I decided to get it. I'm like, they got sword fighting. No boxing? What? Who? Boxing was the reason to own a Wii. Wii Sports Boxing? Man, the whole family was throwing hands.
I swear, Nintendo is so just... Well, what's the word? They're so... I don't even know. But...
I know what you're trying to say. They capitalize it. But hey, if it's fun.
But they added... So anyways, they added basketball for you folks out there that don't know. If you want to feel like Steph Curry for 5 seconds, well, they added basketball for you. There you go.
You hate Wii Sports or Switch Sports.
I do.
What? What's up with that, man? Ain't you a family man?
It don't got boxing, so I don't care.
That's fair. That's fair. I had the same reaction. I was like, what? Like, y'all got everything except boxing? Hilarious, dude. My mom almost broke the TV one time.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's what that strap is for.
So next game got us a new platformer. It's called Mio, Memories in Orbit. Looked interesting. Kind of like in the same style of those Ori / Celeste kind of games.
Oh yeah.
It looked interesting. Would I play it? Would I buy it? Is it on not the Switch? That is always the question.
It's one of them games that I would play, but it doesn't catch me over anything else at the moment.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not a Metroidvania from the looks of it. So it's kind of more so like purely platforming. So more into the Metroidvania stuff. So let's see. And then there's an update to Disney Illusion Island. Can't remember what it was. I'd have to look through it here to really find out what it was. I think they added new characters, but I think that's about the beginning and end of that. Nothing crazy. And then the next game they announced, Hello Kitty, let's rip off Animal Crossing Island Adventure.
Let's go. I know you've been waiting for that one.
Exactly. I've always wanted to play a Hello Kitty game that rips off Animal Crossing.
Yeah. I'm surprised Animal Crossing ain't got more quote unquote competitors, right? Like it seems like a genre spawning type of game, but I don't. Maybe I'm just ignorant. I don't know. I don't see a lot of Animal Crossing clones.
I mean, it's not just you. I don't see them a lot either. So
yeah.
Let's see. Looney Tunes: The Wacky World of Sports.
Yeah.
I almost at first thought it was a Space Jam game, but would
that have changed your reception? Like,
yes.
Really?
Yes.
I bet you didn't buy that new Space Jam game that came out with the second movie.
I did not.
It was garbage anyway. It don't matter.
I'm a fan of the original one with Michael Jordan. And that's it.
Hey, when's the last time you watched that movie?
What the first Space Jam?
Mm-hmm.
I think I watched it with my little cousin's baby like 4 or 5 years ago. That was about the last time I've seen it.
Yeah, that game, that movie came out the year I was born. I had, by the time I was 3 or 4, something, I had like a whole Space Jam bedroom set. And it was like, my memory of that movie does not match up with watching it as an adult. Watching it as an adult, I was like, oh, he can't act. I was like, oh, this movie's bad. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was. Some things, I wish there was like a radar built into your head that would just go off when you try to watch or play something old that does not hold up. With movies, it's even worse somehow, though. I don't know. Maybe because it's passive.
baby.
Like when I watch a movie from my childhood, and I'm like, oh, something so cringy about it. But yeah, Looney Tunes.
Yeah, so little sports game with Looney Tunes characters. You got your Bugs Bunnies, your Lola Bunnies, your Daffy Ducks, your Porky Pigs. God damn, that makes
Is
me
Pepe
wanna...
Le Pew, is he canceled still? They got him in there?
I don't see him on the cover. So I guess so. He's still canceled.
The HR got him doing some training courses.
Oh God, I guess.
Some sexual harassment.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
He on
man.
probation. Yeah, they said he can't return to nothing mainstream for a few years.
Oh my goodness. What? Oh my goodness. Before I start hopping on my soapbox, that's good. So, Among Us was here, and there's a free update. They added 3 new roles. So they added Phantom, where I guess like when you're dead, you can just kill people and just mess with people. Tracker and something else. I can't remember the other role. They don't have them all listed here for whatever reason. But yeah, Among Us, more updates. Do you really need more roles? Really?
And people still playing it. I ain't mad at them.
And then here's the game you were talking about earlier, Armagia.
Ah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, where he designed the characters and the monsters. I will give Hiro Mashima this. He's a hardworking man. Like this man, I think he has like 2 mangas running at the same time. I don't know what they are. Can't remember their names, but he has like multiple mangas running at the same time. And then he works on games like this. I gotta admire the work ethic.
Yeah.
He knows how to hustle. He knows how to hustle.
He knows how to sell a game too. Because I don't think a lot of people even know what this game is about.
No, I just see farming. I see it looks like monster taming. Like I don't know what the fuck's going
what
on
else
in
do you
that
see?
game.
Yeah.
So I can't even remember the trailer really that well. I'd have to see it again. But
I just remember the promotional material.
it's just like I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this game? But it's whatever. I'm not invested. If you like Hiro Mashima stuff, I mean, I guess this game's for you. Next game, debated me for a minute there because I thought it was a new game, but Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. This is a
What did you want? You wanted a new Donkey Kong?
a new Donkey Kong game. Yes, that would have made
What's
me
the last one you
interested.
played?
None of them. That was why I want a new one. They get me into.
Well,
it.
you better sit your narrow butt down, turn on your Switch, and play Donkey Kong Country or something.
But yeah, we got the remake of the original. I was about to say Switch. Wii
The original
game
remake.
of the original game on the Wii.
Mhm.
Yep, another remaster. I mean, we're gonna get a lot of these from Nintendo leading up to their new console. Trying to build up that lineup. I'm sure this lineup's gonna be like one of the greatest we probably ever seen for a new console launch. So
Potentially.
Potentially.
If you notice, they had to do that with a lot of games that came out on the Wii U. Just because it was like, no one has one of these. So,
But they did a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Like at the shop.
Right.
You can just get almost anything. And then the next one. I'm probably gonna cut in my reaction. I don't know if you even saw the video. But man, when I saw Dragon Quest, I was hyped. I've been wanting to play this HD 2D remake forever. Forever.
Really?
Yes. It looks really good.
I'm happy for you, man. I don't know why. Me and Dragon Quest just don't get along.
I don't see why. It's Dragon Quest. Akira Toriyama
That's
designed
the problem, probably.
Designed the monsters.
But you know, honestly, I've never really. It's weird. I have a nostalgia for his character designs, but I'm gonna say, like, I never really liked them though.
You don't
Isn't
like
that kind of
slime?
weird?
You don't like slime?
Not really.
Man.
But the irony is that was the only thing that got me through Dragon Quest 11 was I was like, oh, hey, this looks like Dragon Ball. Because I see the appeal and I feel like I should love Dragon Quest, but I beat that whole game, 11 that is, and I was just like, okay.
A lot of people regard that as one of their favorite RPGs.
Who?
I've seen Mighty Keith say so. John says the same.
That's his favorite of all time?
Not of all time, but he highly
Okay,
regards
so
it.
stop.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You're being hyperbolic. Like
But
yeah, no, it just and like this is something that I mitigated. Like the voice acting was so abysmal that I literally played the game on mute. I cut the voices down to 0. I'm willing to I've said this too with the recent news. I'm willing to replay Dragon Quest 11, if not revisit and play that post game content. Maybe switch it to Japanese audio or something, and just try to see what the disconnect is, because I love Final Fantasy, Persona, but Dragon Quest just, you know what I think part of it was, I felt like it was missing something, because you could move your characters around in combat, but it didn't matter.
yeah,
It didn't do anything. It's like, what's the point? Because you couldn't flank them. There was no environmental damage, nothing like that. So it just didn't. You could move them just to move them, But like, my point ain't to roast it. I want to understand it. I want to get the appeal. So who knows, man? Maybe I'll give it a shot if I see you're loving your experience with this.
Oh, I'm sure I will. On Not the Switch, November 14th. That's when it releases.
On Not this, Jesus. You'd play Mario if it was on the PlayStation.
Would I?
See, because now your metric isn't making sense to me.
No, I wouldn't. I'd play it on the Nintendo console. It just feels right.
Right. I mean, hey, I've been there. I had some weird hangups with that too.
But yeah, not only Dragon Quest 3 is coming out, they also announced Dragon Quest 1 and 2 together. So you get the whole Erdrick trilogy, but that doesn't come out till 2025. So, but apparently, I guess the third game is like the first in the franchise. Well, in the trilogy, chronologically, as far as like the story is concerned. At least that was what the creator said.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting because people, as far as like Dragon Quest is concerned, dick ride the fuck out of Erdrick. Like he's like the greatest protagonist since Jesus was born. So
yeah,
I'm gonna find out. Is he a better protagonist than?
I mean, aren't the protagonists like blank slates anyway?
I don't know. I guess technically
That's what I remember from 11. So I don't know. Each his own, I guess. Let me know.
Is he a better protagonist than Reen Sworzer from Trails?
Wait, you talking about the Dragon Quest guy?
Yeah.
So okay, so Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Is the protagonist not just like a nameless self-insert? Is it like a designated character?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Pretty sure. What is pretty sure?
But you choose like dialogue options.
All right.
You know, some of them are pretty funny, just like Personas, like Persona 5s. Even though they are technically self-inserts, they still have personality. So, but we'll see. I've never played these earlier Dragon Quest games. I played a little bit of 8, but never finished it. I didn't own the game, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
So
what else we got?
But off of that, we got us a Funko Pop game called Funko Fusion. So after that,
no, don't do that.
So we have this Funko Pop game. It's called Funko Fusion. I don't even know what the fuck you're doing in this game. I guess you're just like reliving like different movies and doing different things, but I'm not sure. I'm not invested at all.
Do they have a lot of pop games? Like, is that
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I recall them saying there's like 80 different Funko Pops you could choose from. So, I don't know.
I know there was a Gears Pop, but I never... Like, didn't that like come and go? I never even seen gameplay of it.
It was... I mean, basically it did in this direct. So the next game... Another remaster. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Okay.
Originally a 3DS game, but they kind of remastered it.
I didn't play that one, so
I never did too. I mean, I've never played any of them, but I wasn't interested. I know it was out around the time I got my 3DS, but yeah, I didn't care. I didn't care to get it.
Yeah, I missed that one.
But it is coming out very soon. Comes out next week. Mm-hmm. From day of recording, June 27th. So the new Dimpaman, I guess this is kind of like a Japan thing. I'm not familiar with dopamine. From what I remember, it was kind of similar to Animal Crossing 2. There was a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but this was like another Animal Crossing like hybrid. But I didn't care. But next game after that, a little bit more interesting. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. So this is a tower defense game. I would have been interested in this if it wasn't tower defense. But I do like Metal Slug, but unfortunately,
man, you don't like nothing but shooty, shooty, bang, bang, and punchy punch.
Look, I'm interested in that Metal Slug Tactics game that's coming out. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I am getting that. I need to look into that. I don't remember when that's coming out. Darkest Dungeon 2. That is an RPG. From what I remember, I think that's a pretty violent series, so I think it's more like visual novel-esque than gameplay. Not my thing, but And then big Nintendo Switch Online update. So we got A Link to the Past 4 Swords coming, as well as Metroid Zero Mission coming on GBA. So more
that's
Metroid.
two big ones.
So yeah,
heavy hitters.
Big deal. And then I'd say the two on the N64 side are a big deal. So Perfect Dark, Interrupt.
Oh man,
Perfect Dark. Ooh boy.
Both
some memories with that.
But considering, I mean, I guess technically I already had access to Turok if I wanted to play it, but I've had access to Perfect Dark for so long that just seeing Turok was enough for me to be like, dude, this is worth it.
Yeah.
That was one of them games that I was like stuck on the beginning for so long. Like you know when you a kid and you don't understand how stuff works?
Yeah.
Like I was playing that game probably way earlier than I should have, but I'm just like, I remember roaming around that first level or two 100 times. It's like I didn't even know how to save the game. I didn't know how to progress. And then I played it later when I was a little bit older and got further in. So I just got some fond memories of Turok.
Like Perfect Dark, I would just die all the time.
Same.
I would just die all the time. I'm like, where am I supposed to go?
It's like, as much as these games are etched into my memory, like I was not at an age where I could even process what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah. That's a nostalgia trip, though. Like Perfect Dark. Never played Zero Mission. I might play that, though. Might play that. They got Fusion, too, don't they? On NSO?
Fusion?
Yeah. Yeah, Metroid Fusion.
Oh, Zero Mission is the one that's coming. Yeah, they got Fusion already.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, yep.
I wonder if it's related to Metroid Prime 4 in any way. Maybe that's why.
Who knows? I mean, I'm sure same timeline, you know what I'm saying? But that Metroid...
But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of
you a little bit, but I'm just happy to see how Metroid is doing. I'll leave it at that for right now.
Okay, Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero was the next game shown after that. So this was the game that they show, and I was like, I had to look at it and squint, and I was like, is that Disgaea?
I don't even want to talk about this guy.
But yeah, I don't like the direction they've been going with this guy ever since it went 3D. It just looks weird. I don't like it. I don't. They should have just kept it pixelated, but I get why they didn't want. I mean, obviously I get it, but still, it's just, yeah. That's why I haven't been interested in the series since. But anyways, next game. This is a big heavy hitter. I heard when this was revealed, Maximilian dude fell out his chair. Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection. Arcade Classics. That's a long ass title. It's finally happening. Marvel versus Capcom 2 is coming to consoles, and you can own it physically again. When I say again, I mean the second time.
I did see how excited people were about that. That's dope.
This is
you know how I
big
feel
deal.
about game preservation. So that's good. So it has all three of them?
No. It's like a combination of different games. So they have, I don't know if you've ever played it, Punisher 2. So they got Punisher 2, which is like a beat 'em up, kind of like Streets of Rage.
Oh, okay.
It's a fun game. At least I thought it was fun in arcades.
Yeah.
So Punisher 2, Marvel versus X-Men. I think they had I think they had a couple of them.
Wow, that did happen, didn't it?
I gotta see a full list of all those games in there. Hold on.
No, look it up, because they said collection. So in my brain, I'm just thinking, oh, it has Marvel vs. Capcom 1, 2, and 3.
So X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Right, that was it. Yeah.
Oh wait, they do have the first.
That.
They do have the first one. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they'd have a collection and not have at least the first two.
So yeah, they got Punisher, Marvel Superheroes. I'm not familiar with that one. X-Men versus Street Fighter. That sounds interesting. Let's see. Marvel Comics X-Men Children of the Atom.
Dang, man, you read that slow?
So X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Street Fighter. Okay. That's quite a few games.
No, for real.
So
well, good for you.
So yeah, that's a big deal.
Is it multi-plat or we don't know?
This is not gonna make you happy. It is multi-plat, but on one console. I'm sure you could make a guess.
Oh, I don't care, bro. I mean, that's par for the course.
I mean, it kind of don't make sense to me because when they were selling MVC2, sales wise, like it was selling a lot on Xbox.
On 360, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is, but maybe Microsoft will step in on that one. That'd be a title I'd step in on for sure. But yeah, MVC2. It's a exciting time to be a old head from the arcade days.
Yeah. Special place in my heart for it, for sure.
I remember having to fight over those arcade cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't good, you wasn't getting on.
It is what it is.
And you wouldn't stay on. All right. So, next game, Super Mario Party Jamboree. I almost forgot.
Hey,
that
man,
was
what is it about the word jamboree that rubs me the wrong way?
I don't know. This is just a weird word choice.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird
like,
too.
jamboree.
Jamboree. People
Well,
use
like
that word? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it's like 20 players, ain't it?
Yeah, I can compete online.
20? That worries me about the mini games because I was going back. I played Mario Party, I think 2 or 3, one of them, with my wife. Whichever the one was with the little guy who had like dice for a head or something. I don't know. But we were like, God, these mini games. I remember some of the later Mario parties having mini games that at least took a minute or two to get through. I could be misremembering.
Yeah.
But I was playing some of these mini games like, dog, that was 5 seconds. What? So I can only imagine with 20 players, the mini games being like some super lightning elimination round type of stuff.
Yeah.
Not that that can't be fun. It's just, I think part of my issue sometimes with Mario Party is the removal of control, because you'll be so excited to play a mini game, but then it's like, oh, that was it. You're out.
Yeah. Yeah. At least for me, anyway. I don't know if I'll play it online, but at least for me, as long as the mini games aren't trash and the boards aren't trash either.
Is this the first online Mario Party? Was that last one online?
Last one was online. You could play with friends online in the last one. So I just have a feeling this one's not gonna be good. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just have a feeling. Maybe it's just me. So, one of the heavy hitters. Well, another one of the heavy hitters from this direct. This one was a little bit different. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is what it's called. And you aren't the warrior rescuing the princess this time. You're the princess rescuing the warrior.
I saw a headline that I thought was funny. It said, after years of Zelda taking second fiddle to Link in her own series, I'm like, right. I was thinking the same thing about Halo and how the Ring Halo was taking second fiddle to Master Chief in its own series.
That's funny.
I'm like, what a weird way to phrase that.
I mean, it is called The Legend of Zelda, but where is Zelda ever the main focus?
It's always the Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I mean, the same. When is that coming out?
September 26th.
This year? Wow. Same year Princess Peach gets her own game, man.
Yeah.
They're trying to utilize their protagonist to the utmost potential.
I guess so. But
they need a Daisy game. That game would probably be fire.
I agree. Give Daisy her own game.
Hey man, Daisy over Peach, Daisy over Rosalina, Daisy over whatever Princess Wario and Waluigi got. I know they hiding one.
Oh god. There's just one that they've had this whole time. They're just stuck in their stinky. Okay, never mind.
I just gave Nintendo a free character. Free new character. Why Petunia or something? I don't know.
Oh god.
Just call her why Daisy. Hey, they could do a why Daisy and a why Peach.
Why Peach?
Why Dolly or why Petunia or something.
All right. So next. Guess what? Ubisoft is blessing us with another Just Dance 2025 edition.
I'm so glad you said that, man. I'm so glad, bro. That's all I needed in life.
Exactly. It's the only game you need in life.
For real.
Just Dance 2025.
You know, the first Just Dance cured my depression.
You know, the first Just Dance cured me of my depression after my first breakup.
Where were you when the first Just Dance came out?
I was a young lad, still in school. Still in school. They are still making these and they still sell. God damn it. Okay.
But you know what I always say, man? People are buying it.
Yeah.
Because there's probably somebody, there's like one dude named Clarence who was watching a direct and he saw that and he stood up and tore his hair out and did the splits.
Yep, and you want to know something else? There's probably a Wii version. And that's... This is so terrible. Fucking hate this company. Okay, so next, they showed off Lego Horizon Adventures again. Okay. It's coming. And then next, another Sony game.
It's coming.
I thought this was a exclusive to Sony. But I guess not. Stray is coming to Switch.
Mm-hmm. What does that even mean anymore, man? Exclusive. A lot of people like Stray though, so this will just broaden the audience.
I thought the point of Stray was kind of partially like its visual fidelity, but putting it on Switch too. I don't know how it sold, but just play it on PS5, guys.
I feel like there's a big crossover between cat lovers and Switch owners. Statistically, there'd have to be, considering everybody has a Switch now, right?
I guess.
So
makes sense.
Nah, I mean, people were big on that. I'm not really a Stray person, but people were big on that game, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
This will move the needle for sure.
Yeah. So, but if you were to ask me, people just play it on PS5. Just play it where it looks better.
Not everybody cares. You know that, right?
I know, but
And some
I'm
people
just,
only have a Switch.
but I'm just putting those little seeds out there.
Right, unless it's Mario though. Play that on the Switch.
Exactly.
Even
Play
if it's on the PlayStation 5, it looks way better.
100%. Yes,
Right, okay.
is what he deserves.
Yeah. Okay, move forward.
All right. Lord of the Rings game, Tales of the Shire.
Mhm.
Nets after that. I don't know much about that game, to be honest.
I don't either. So that's fair.
So moving on. Ace Attorney Investigations collection. I'm not sure what games are in that collection, but because I'm not an Ace Attorney person.
I feel like I've been sleeping on it, man. That's one game that I regret never delving into.
The Ace
Like back
Attorney
when I had a
games.
DS. I really wish, because it's weird because I subscribe to Nintendo Power and I used to be in the know, and that was one game I was reading all about but never got.
It
But
seems
I guess when
like
you're a kid,
it seems
what
like
was up?
in Nintendo Power, those games always reviewed well. Always.
Of course, right? They were honest though, because I do remember some very middling reviews, and there was a lot of third party titles featured. But to your point, it does seem like there'd be the impetus would be on them to review the games well.
Like
But I noticed,
Ryu's convicted of murder. Objection.
right? Their courage. I mean, their courage, not coverage, was very in depth. And actually, fun fact about me, that was like how I found out about games. From like the age 7 to maybe 14, the way I found out about games was through magazines.
Yep, same
And
here.
Phoenix, yeah, man.
G4.
Ace Attorney is one.
G4 too.
There you go. There you go. Ace Attorney is like, I'm glad that this collection is out, whatever is in it, because I feel like I just need to give it a shot.
Yeah.
But is it the same without a touch screen though?
I have no idea. But for me, as far as how I found out about games, it was always Game Informer, Nintendo Power,
Yep.
and G4 X Play mostly.
The trifecta for me was Game Informer, official Xbox magazine, and Nintendo Power. I used to get all three. And I'd just be like, ooh, what's that? And like, this is such a side note, man. But a few years ago, I downsized and I threw out a lot of old magazines because they were just piling up, right? And I kept several, and my criteria for keeping them, I always kept magazines where the cover story was a game that was meaningful to me, deeply meaningful, or something that got canceled. And I remember, Command and Conquer? There was supposed to be a Command and Conquer FPS called Tiberium. And I have a Game Informer with that on the cover, and I saw it in the basement the other day, and I was like, bro, that's crazy, ain't it? Just some of these games that didn't come out, like Star Wars, man, what was that game called? 1313 or something like that. Star Wars 1313. It was like mad games that got canceled that people were like, ooh, what's this? And I feel like it's just a neat little piece of history, having those cover stories. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna use it as a visual aid next time. Like next pod, I'm gonna be like, look at this. Look what could have been.
All right, so next we get into the end here. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. I'm not a big Romancing Saga person. I don't even really remember this one. Uh, but it is coming out October 24th. If I recall correctly, Romancing Saga is kind of more a PlayStation series, so I'm sure it's coming out on PS5, so just get it on PS5. I swear I'm not hating on the Switch. I swear I'm not, but
That's the phrase of the day. Just get it on PS5.
But guys, like, this console is 8 years old. It's dog shit slow compared to everything that's out now.
You ain't lying.
My computer could probably compute circles around it. Like, fuck.
Probably?
Not even probably, it can.
Yeah, it's time for a Switch 2 is the greatest takeaway. Time for a Switch 2.
We need a new console badly. Like, honestly, we needed one 2 years ago. But here we are to the end. They had the big closer, the big kahuna, the main star, well, the star of the show. We already know. Exactly.
Earthbound.
Yes.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 7.
Absolutely. Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door 2.
So Paper Mario 3. The real Paper Mario 3. Metroid Prime 4.
Beyond.
Beyond, yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh, okay. Metroid Prime 2 did have echoes attached to the title, so.
I might cut in the reaction a little bit here, but I
do it.
I flipped. I was like, they actually did it. They did it. They did it because they knew they had to, and they had no choice.
You remember what I said, man. They did have to. I said, this game is not real until I see it. This game ain't real. Because you remember what they said about Dread and the projected sales of Dread. Like, Dread could have been the nail in the coffin for this series if it didn't do as well as it did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, since the success of this or the continuation of this series is contingent upon Dread, there's no possible way Metroid Prime 4 is real beyond just like a concept, you know? And that was what, a couple years ago?
And Dread went on to sell 3 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
Outselling every single game that is released in the series.
For Metroid, yeah, right. That sets a new bar. And I was gonna say this earlier. I love Metroid, bro. Metroid is one of my favorite Nintendo IP.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the main game I've been freaking waiting for.
It created a genre, Metroidvania.
It, along with Castlevania, did, of course, yeah. Which is, what a weird descriptor, because you think, when you hear Metroidvania, you think both games would be different enough to warrant squishing them together. But they're like similar games.
Yep.
I guess people just don't know how else to describe a side-scrolling, puzzle-based backtracking game.
It just shortens it up. Metroidvania.
Yeah. So what's your takeaway for Metroid Prime 4?
Well, the game looks fantastic. Visually speaking, it looked just as good as the Metroid Prime 1 remaster, which also is one of the best looking games I've played on the Switch. Like, even on my...
Impressive.
Because even on my OLED TV, like, you fire that game up, it looks incredible. Actually. Like, it's actually... It almost looks like you're playing a PS4 game or a late PS3 game. Visually, like it's really impressive. I think it is at 1080, but it looks really good. It looks really good in the art style, like the art direction they're going with Metroid Prime 4. Like it just pops. It really pops out and it just looks great. So honestly, I'm really interested to see how it looks on the Switch 2.
Right. See, that was my thing. Did they specifically say it was releasing on Switch?
They did it, but the assumption is that most people are making is it's going to be like a cross-gen release.
Launch title?
Yeah.
Bro, that would be one of the greatest launch titles of all time. Like, it has the potential to be.
Yeah.
Like, almost up there with Halo.
Like, it's...
Because you sitting here talking about the fidelity of the game, and I'm like, but...
Like, it just looks
not
good.
to jump on the hate. It does, but I don't want to jump on that hate train with you and be like, but the PS5, though. You know what I mean? Because as good as Metroid Prime 4 looks, I'm like, can the Switch really do this? Like, I don't know. I just think it would be a huge... I don't ever in my life, never want to see another Tears of the Kingdom, and to a greater degree, much greater degree, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I don't ever want to see a Nintendo game come out and be held back that egregiously by the hardware. And like Tears of the Kingdom wasn't nearly as bad as Pokemon was with that. But the fact that that was the first time I can remember that happening on that scale. I'm like, what? Where is that Nintendo polish? So if I'm worried about anything with this game, is it being able to run. But if it's like cross-gen, like you said, then assuming the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever they want to call it is powerful enough.
Like the segments they did show, like I didn't see any frame drops. Like that was 60.
Right, but remember, just because you don't see it, that's not running. That's running on like the strongest rig you can imagine. That's a vertical slice. What they show is not indicative of the final product, because if that was the case, Pokemon would have ran like a dream. Because every single one of them trailers of Pokemon was smooth like butter. Then we play it and the people is walking like this and disappearing, and objects in the distance are like I seen a Pokemon in the air flying, like skipping frames. I'm like, this is terrible. Anyway, super excited.
Like this is Retro Studios we're talking about. They're honestly, I think they're one of Nintendo's best studios. But they're known
it can happen to anybody.
They're known for getting the most out of like weak hardware. So
it's only so much you could do, man. Only so much you could do. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic.
But I get it.
They have to pull this off. They have to pull this off. And cross-gen or not, man, even if the game does release across both consoles, Nintendo does have a track record of pulling that off. Like, a good example would be Twilight Princess. But I just never think it's ideal for a game to be held back by trying to appeal to the install base of the previous console. But I mean, hopefully it don't look like it's gonna be 2,000 enemies on screen at a time or anything, so it should be all right. Yeah. I'm just glad it's finally coming for real,
Yeah. So one thing that I do find interesting, lore-wise is that they brought Silence back. So that's going to be interesting to see what kind of direction they're going to go with that. Because I don't think he really had like a really fleshed out backstory like that for real when he was introduced in Hunters, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. Because for whatever reason, he doesn't like Samus. So
they have a rich expanded universe, so it'll be good to finally. I know Metroid Prime 3 kind of delved into that stuff a little bit, but I don't know why I don't know why I didn't like Metroid Prime 3.
There are a lot of people that weren't too big on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because of the move to Switch. I don't know. Well, or what. I'd have to play it again, not to really see why. But, yeah.
You know what I think can kind of mar the experience a little bit is when people start talking too much. I feel like that never goes well in Metroid. Mm-hmm. Like Dread got away with it with the freaking computer, like the AI or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But between Other M and Metroid Prime 3, I was just like, what? There's a lot of talking going on. Like
and Other M was just a
you were so excited for that game. You thought that was about to be the best game you ever played, bro.
They made it look like it was, and then you finally play it, and it's like, what is this?
Other M. Oh man, a fever dream.
Yeah. I was so excited for that game.
Top 3 biggest reveals. Like, what are the 3 biggest things from the Direct for you?
Well, number 1 is definitely Metroid Prime 4. I'm sure that's for everybody. Number 2 is Mario and Luigi Brothership. And then, let's see. What's the other one? Oh. Yeah. Dragon Quest 3. So
for
third
me,
party.
It's Metroid, Mario and Luigi, and basketball.
Going to the Space Jam.
Oh man, it's really Metroid, Mario, and Luigi. And I'd say it's a toss up between. No, I ain't gonna do that. Turok and Perfect Dark, for sure. Like, I like the Nintendo Switch Online announcements as well. Mm-hmm. I almost said Luigi's Mansion too, but I get to that when I get to it. I'm surprised there was 0 Pokemon at the show. I was like, wow. But then again, they usually do their own thing, so.
Mm-hmm.
That franchise is so big, they had their own Pokemon Presents.
Shouldn't we have a new game coming out soon, allegedly?
Not necessarily, because that new Pokemon Legends game is supposed to come next year. So people are thinking they're probably just going to skip a year as far as like a mainline Pokemon title. Because they would have announced it by now, you'd think. If it was coming like in the fall, I mean... They not really known to announce games with such short notice like that, but... And then there's a question of what it would be. Because if we have a Legends game coming next year... I can only imagine them doing like, hey, one more Scarlet and Violet DLC or some type of spin-off. But I don't know. They'd be all right. They got enough cursory titles, like, you know, all them freaking mobile games.
Yeah.
And keep them pockets lined over the holiday. But okay, man, yeah. That was good to see. Good to see Nintendo actually come in with some heat. I was disappointed from the get, even though they told us that there wouldn't be any mention of the Switch 2. Because I'm like, it's just time. It's beyond time. And the worst part about it is this is still going to put them a generation behind, or at least half a generation behind. But it's Nintendo. They do what they want to do. Closing thoughts on that before we go to the bonus round?
Well, for the most part, this was a pretty strong direct. I would honestly say better than most. There was a lot here. I could see the argument for people saying there wasn't if they're not that into like RPGs and stuff. So I could see that. But
yeah,
other than that, there was a good amount here. There's definitely a good amount here. A lot of JRPG stuff, but still a good amount of variation there. At least I think so. You had your Marvel vs. Capcom collection announced here. Had a Mario Party game. That Zelda game that's pretty unique. And a couple remasters. I mean, I was about to say Mario and Luigi, but Luigi's Mansion, like we've known about, but they showed off Donkey Kong Country, which, you know, is interesting. Giving more of that Wii catalog some love, so that's always good. I mean, I'd rather a new Donkey Kong Country, but whatever.
Why would you rather that?
I guess it's just because
it's
of
still
how
new
I
to
am.
you.
I guess it's just because
It's
of
still
how I
new to
am.
you either way.
I like to play the shiny new thing.
That's shiny new.
Rather than
you never played it.
Rather than the polished old thing.
You never played it.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, no, you're not even making sense. You're not even making sense right now.
Maybe I'm just a terrible person.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far, but you are goofy.
Well, let's go with that. Maybe I'm just goofy.
You said I want a new Donkey Kong Country, despite the fact that I've never played a single one.
Yeah. So, but other than that, it was pretty good direct. If I were to give it a grade, I'd give it a B-.
Is that your way of asking me what I would grade it?
Yep. What would you grade it?
I give it an A.
You give it an A? Okay.
I give it because even though there's like well, to be fair, saying there's a handful of things I would play it is saying a lot. That's saying a lot. And let's assume nothing they showed was for me. There was such a wide array of titles, like high profile and otherwise. Like they covered every avenue pretty much. And then some of the games are coming this week, next week, you know?
I'm sure
we got Mario as was that?
I was just gonna say, I'm sure you're looking forward to Farmagia.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just
But
trolling.
to your point, I know, but to your point though, somebody is. And it's hard for me to rank something less than an A when it's just game. All different kinds of games. I mean, like, what else do we watch these for?
Yeah. I'd say this direct was about on the same level of quality as the Xbox Showcase. Can't be said about the PlayStation State of Play. That was just terrible. But
yeah, and I think that's a fair assessment. Now, my personal attachment to the IP shown at the Xbox Showcase would definitely make me put it above this. But I feel like that could go either way. Like if I was more into the Nintendo stuff, I'd probably say the same thing. So yeah, both were definitely up there for sure.
It'd be hard for me to choose between the two too. So if I were to say, okay, let's pretend that this is E3.
That we're unbiased.
Let's pretend this is E3 and we're unbiased.
And we're unbiased though.
And we're unbiased. If I were to say who won E3, no, maybe Xbox.
Why are we doing this?
Xbox
for sure. If that's what we're doing, because it depends on the metric.
I wouldn't be mad if anybody said Nintendo or Xbox, but
here's why I would be mad, but I'd be like, because the games that are coming out on Xbox, graphics be damned, they're just on a total different scale than anything Nintendo showed, besides Metroid, right? Besides Metroid.
Yeah.
And all we've wanted Xbox to do all along is just show it, pop out and show them, right? We just wanted them to pop out, and they did. They did what we've been asking for, and like I don't think they deserve extra flowers for doing what they should have done in the first place. But I just think there's a level of mass appeal and quality to so many of the games that they showed. To me, the Direct fell just short of that. But like you said, I mean, it could also just be the type of games. But it'd be hard for me to say Nintendo won E3 over Xbox. Just because, like, at a glance, I mean, what is the biggest thing they showed? If we want to look at it that way, biggest thing was Metroid. Right? I'm not as excited about Metroid as I am Gears E-Day. You know? So is it just... And then they had Call of Duty, you know, Call of Duty, regardless how you feel about it, that they had a whole separate showcase dedicated to that one game at the end of the original showcase. So I feel like I'd have to give it to Xbox. But both of these were what I expect from a showcase. I feel like this should be like somebody said, to harken back to the Xbox showcase, somebody said, should this be the bar? I'm like, yeah, it should. Because you should always have something to show, right? I mean, this is how a showcase or a direct should be. You just show the stuff. Just show the stuff. Show us what's coming. That's it. Just have a game. Have games of different kinds. So I guess if I gave this an A, I'd have
live service like Sony.
Hey, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want this to seem like the Xbox show or the Nintendo show. But
I think everybody can agree. Like that showcase was terrible.
No, because the what was that? The state of play.
The highlight of that whole thing was they had Phantom Blade Zero gameplay, a game that we already know about, which it looked good. But what else you got other than this Concord bullshit? That's bullshit. They're making us pay for a game that looks free to play, and on top of that, they got a fucking collector or whatever the fuck of this. Man, get the fuck out of here, Sony.
Hey, I mean, you're not lying, man. Regardless who you think had a better presentation, the Direct and the Xbox Showcase were pristine. I'm like, this is what it's supposed to be, honestly. This is what it's supposed to be. Just show us games. Show us games of different shapes and sizes. Don't show us nonsense. I don't care about TV. I don't care about none of that other. I don't care about celebrities. Just show me games. And they did that. So, all right, man. It's been a good E3 season. Let's move on to the bonus round. We are now at number 70 through 61 for our top 100. The past few weeks, if you haven't been watching, we've been sharing our top 100 games ranked in order, by the way. Just so the audience can get a little bit of a better idea of what's made us the insane people that we are. So I'm going to let you go first. Start with your number 70.
All right. So we are right here. Okay. So Spyro, Year of the Dragon.
Year of the Dragon. Let me pull my list up, my whole list.
Hey, we're just it's all Spyro here. So Spyro, Ripto's Rage, and then Spyro the Dragon.
Hey, look. Let me stop you right there. Yeah. Spyro Year of the Dragon is your number 70?
No, I'm going bottom up. So Year of the Dragon is 70. Yeah. It
was 71 for me. That's crazy.
That's funny.
Year of the Dragon was 71 for me.
So Ripto's Rage 69. And then no. Yeah. So Year of the Dragon 70, Ripto's Rage 69, Spyro the Dragon is 68. All right, going from there. Street Fighter 4. That was honestly, Street Fighter 4 was a pretty pivotal moment for me. That was what really got me into other fighting games, honestly. And got me into trying other stuff. Really enjoyed my time with it. Honestly, I wish I had been able to play it longer. I played it towards the end of that Force life cycle, like right before Street Fighter 5 came out, and we all remember how that game released.
How that went.
Yeah. I had never had bought a game day of and then returned it the same day. That was definitely a record.
First time for everything, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, that was a game that existed. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 got me into the Budokai series. It was great.
You started with 2?
Amazing, yeah. Like I
started with 1.
I played the first one, but I didn't own it. I played it with a different friend of mine. But yeah, that was a fun game. That was a fun game for what it was.
So much of Budokai. Like so much.
I played 2 so much. And then when 3 came out, it was over. I think I was on 3 for almost a year.
Competitive player almost, huh?
Like, oh man, it was just so much to do. It was like the brawl of anime games. Like, there was just anime fighting games anyway. Like, there was just so much to do. So
many side note, we didn't even mention, we skipped what we were playing. I think it's because we went so long with the Nintendo Direct, but yeah. I'm playing Baldur's Gate. Just throwing that in there.
Okay. I'm playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Great game. It's great. It's great, man. I just love SMT5 a lot. And the fact that it's
back to the list.
It's on PS5 is great.
Yeah. Here you go with your PS5 stuff.
It also trails into daybreak. Also playing that demo.
Yep.
I
just thought we should mention it.
Yeah. So, Sonic Heroes. That's
okay. What number is that?
I don't even know. 70, 68, 67, 65.
Huh?
So Sonic Heroes is 65? Hold on.
65. All I heard was 5. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, that's right. 65.
Oh. Yeah.
So, huge game for me growing up. I've endless hours playing that game. Love Sonic Heroes. I would play through that shit again if I could. They need to remaster that.
Careful what you wish for.
Remaster it. Sega, remaster it. Do it.
Careful what you wish for.
Do it. Remaster it.
Man.
Okay, so Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition after that. That'd be 64. I mean, it's Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Come on. One of the greatest arcade racers of all time.
Arcade racer.
Of all time. Of all time.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I got no argument.
So after that, 63, Metroid Dread.
Metroid what?
Dread.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna tell you why that's funny in a minute here.
But oh man, it's such a good game. It's such a good game. Never have I played a game that definitely kept you on your toes and just anxious a good majority of the time.
That's because you scared of real scary games.
No, it's like those man, I can't remember what they're called, but the Emmys.
Emmys, yep.
Oh man, those things were like not even trying to be funny. They were dreadful to deal with. They definitely kept you tense. I'm like just trial and error, like trying to get past them things. It's like, ugh. But when you start killing them, that's when it gets fun. I'm like, yeah, definitely. Bitch, die. But all right, so this is funny because we talked about this game earlier. 62, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Oh yeah.
So one of my definitely, I would say probably top 2, top 3 most played games on GBA. Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me.
So yeah, love that shit. So, and then 61 is Tetris Friends. This is actually not a console game, it's a PC game.
Oh.
So I played this a lot with like my brawl friends, like on the side, because it was free. It was a free game you could play. So it was really fun. Really fun. Like you could send lines to like certain friends.
Oh boy.
So it was like as you clear them, so it was really fun.
Sounds like a good time.
It was a bit
ruining
competitive.
People's lives.
It was a bit competitive, so yeah. So it was a fun game. So that's 61. So let me mark that, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we almost halfway through, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep,
almost.
70 to 61. Yep. Well, let me think. List them off again. Say from 70 to 61. I just want to hear the name of the games.
Oh, mine? You cut out for a minute. Say that. You said mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Spyro, Year of the Dragon. Spyro, Ripto's Rage. And then Spyro the Dragon. Street Fighter 4. Budokai 2. Sonic Heroes. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Metroid Dread. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. And then Tetris Friends.
What did you like so much about Sonic Heroes?
Sonic Heroes, I think it was just the ability to just like switch. Like it was really like the switch between those different like formations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. And it was, to be honest, it was my first Sonic game. It was my first Sonic game, so there's a lot of nostalgia there.
There it is. Figured it out.
Yeah. I loved Sonic Heroes. Loved it.
Yeah.
Probably played it through start to finish probably about 8 times. Maybe more.
I appreciate it. Well, my number 70. This was not planned, man.
Okay.
But my number 70 is Metroid Prime 2.
Okay.
Yeah. That's wild. Number 69, Tales of Arise.
Tales of Arise. Okay.
68 is Bully.
Bully. Okay.
67 is Infamous 2.
If
66 is God of War 3.
Oh shit.
65 is Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, which is Ratchet 2 pretty much.
Okay.
64, Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
63, Halo Reach.
Halo Reach.
Transformers War for Cybertron.
I never played War for Cybertron.
Let me get into it. And Splinter Cell Conviction is 61. Dog. So what? What do you want to know about? What stands out? That Transformers?
So Transformers and Splinter Cell, because man, another game series my parents never let me play. You already know why.
Transformers War for Cybertron. I've said this before. I think I said this on this podcast. It's like toys to life, dude. It's such a great representation of that franchise because they have designs that harken back to the classic G1 designs. But like it doesn't come with the stiffness that you would. When I visualize the OG Transformers cartoons and I try to put that into gameplay, I just imagine it being stiff. But no, this game, the transformations were so seamless. You could go from vehicular combat seamlessly into a third-person shooter. It was such a crazy genre blend because it was an action game. It was an action shooter. And the level design was so amazing because you'd be driving up a highway and then transform and then jump through a platforming section, shooting at Decepticons or whatever. It's just, you had to play it. And the online was amazing. I was like top 10 on the leaderboards for a specific class, whatever the big class a robot was, for like a long time.
Oh wow.
I should have took pictures and stuff to verify, but like I was like high up in the leaderboards. I played War for Cybertron. Weirdly enough, was one of my most played online games. ever.
That's funny.
I know,
I
like
wouldn't
how
imagine
random,
that.
how random. But yeah, it was great. It was great. Splinter Cell Conviction too. I think some people kind of disliked the game because it was a bit of a departure from, I'll say, the deep stealth of Splinter Cell. But Conviction, oh my goodness, I just remember it fondly for the weapon upgrade system
Mm.
and the multiplayer. Like the co-op in that game, perfect, dude. I almost want to fire it up and have you play it just to see what I'm talking about, because not only was it was co-op stealth, but you could also like tag team interrogate people, and some of the
That sounds
interrogation
funny.
methods, dog. Like, I remember one time I was playing with my brother, and he had grabbed the dude, and we were interrogating him, and he like slammed the dude's head in the door of the oven or something. And then I was
What?
like, right, and then he let him go, and then I grabbed him. I was like, okay, let me get him, because you can choose what you do when you interrogate him. Like, there's
Yeah.
these built-in sequences, and like one of the most distinctive ones, I remember him like breaking this dude's nose on a urinal. I'm like, Jesus, man.
What the fuck?
The game is wild, man. But some people didn't like it because it was a little streamlined, but I loved it for what it was. It was quick, it was simple. There wasn't like any. The UI wasn't intrusive either. It was pretty straightforward. Like, they did a really good job of implementing the controls without like overwhelming your senses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was dope.
That's interesting. Interesting. And your thoughts on Metroid Prime 2 and why it's there and not higher?
Was there not high? It's not higher because, I mean, frankly, a lot of the games on this list give me so many more reasons to love them than Metroid Prime 2. But it's that same thing I told you. If a game is on this list, you can rest assured that I love it, because
Yeah.
I'd say my top 200 games I'd probably say that. I would put, because technically the list I made had like 136 or something, and I had to stop, right? I feel like if a game would be considered for my top 200, I could probably safely say I deeply admire it, and Metroid Prime 2 is no different. Yeah, it's fantastic, man. The atmosphere. I remember getting lost in that game numerous times and having to start over despite having a strategy guide. Because I always felt like, oh, I missed this thing. Let me go back. I want to scan this. I was trying to thing, even at a young age, you know. And it had a multiplayer mode, dude.
Oh yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
A lot like the one from Hunters.
Yeah. I distinctly like remember Hunters' gameplay because it was like online. Like you could do that online.
Yeah.
Like I was playing with some people, like there were like guilds, just like Hunters like got serious competitive. Like there were guilds.
I was a little scared of, because Metroid Prime 2.
Well, clans. I said guilds, clans.
It's the same thing. I was a little scared of Metroid Prime 1 and 2. Just the atmosphere of it was like creepy, which I guess you could say Metroid has always been kind of like, considering its inspiration, a bit creepy.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out to me myself, I mean, on my list, was Tales of Arise making it. Because I thoroughly enjoyed Tales of Arise, but I was just like, oh, I liked it that much, huh? You know? Because out of all the games I put on that list, of course, the way I rank them is uh, the algorithm. It'll put two games next to each other,
Mm,
and you say, I like this one or I like this one. And it's just process of elimination at that point. So for it to end
yeah.
up at 69, I'm like, dang, man, I mean, yeah, that must mean I really like it. And I do. It's just I forget it exists sometimes. You know what I
I
mean?
forgot about that multiplayer. God damn.
What in Metroid?
Well, in Prime too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Me too. Me too. But I mean, that's all of it for now. Uh, so next time would be 60 through 51, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So next time we will officially reach the halfway point. Yep. But for now, that's a wrap. I feel like we've been going long enough. Where can they find you?
Well, you guys can find me on YouTube now that I guess you could say I'm kind of uploading now. I mean, a video finally. Gunnm921. Find me on
Good
Twitter.
job.
Topics the Creator. Find me on Twitch. Gunnm21. And you can also find me on Tumblr. Gunnm.tumblr.com.
Fire. Goals in fitness. Basically everything. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. My gamer tag is Drata Spectre. But you know what I've been thinking about doing is a quick aside. I've been thinking about just unifying all my game stuff, like my gamer tag, my PSN ID, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can even change it on Switch, but I might just change it to D goals or something. I don't know. But until next time.
Yeah. It was a good one. So,
Any last words? Any bits of for the community before we sign off?
Play Trails in the Daily Break. Play the demo. It's good. You're in the trails. Get S&T5 Vengeance. That too.
All right.
That's about it. But till next time, we got y'all later. Peace.